Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another review on the player moments Sandro Tonali. We're going to be going through the player, his detailed stats, clips and summary. We're also going to go through how you can get your hands on this guy. But before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below who you'd like me to review next. And without further ado, let's get into the review. So guys, this is the team that I used Sandro Tonali in. Now, I played him at the striker spot, but then moved him down into the CDM spot to play alongside Wayne Rooney. I wanted to test him out, how he played as the dominant CDM player. And guys, first impressions of this card, he's a really good card. I'm playing now in Division 1, and it's more difficult, certainly against those players, and especially the types of players you're coming up against, like the Cruyffs. The Rooneys are always in there, the Balas are always in there. Now, they are in Division 2 and Division 3, but it's not as good players using them, so I found it tough with this Tonali in midfield. But guys, overall, I thought this card was fantastic. Really good passing and really decent defending, actually. Good in every sort or part of the game. So let's get straight into it. Sandro Tonali, 5'11", medium-high work rate, right-footed, 3-star swing moves, and 4-star weak foot. So pretty good. 5'11", good height, medium-high. Has a little bit of attacking work rate, but likes to stay back more so. 4-star weak foot, so that's nice as well. 5 games played, 3 assists for me as well, and you guys will see a number of tackles that he made for me as well. In terms of chemistry style, guys, his pace isn't high enough for me, so I boosted that. And because he was playing the CDM slot for me, I put a shadow on him. I wanted him to be able to perform at his best in that CDM spot, and I thought that would be the best thing for him. In terms of his stats, guys, the key stats to look out for here: the short pass, the long pass, the free kick accuracy. Those 3 stats are unbelievable on this card. I mean, he has just incredible passing ability and passing range, and I think that really shows across all the clips that you guys are going to see as well. He really was great at everything in the passing department. In terms of the cons of this card, guys, I would say that his pace is one, but I think it's not his pace, but more so his clunkiness. He's only got 80 agility, so he does feel slightly clunky in the midfield. His reactions are a bit slow as well, and his defensive awareness isn't the highest, which means that sometimes he's caught out of position a little bit, or ventures forward maybe where he doesn't need to. But otherwise, guys, I didn't really find a lot of cons of this card, especially considering it's a free card. It's an 87 rated card. It's not up there in the 90s. So overall, I thought this was a really fantastic card, given what I could do with him and the boosts I was able to apply. Getting into the traits, guys, is the leadership trait, flair trait, long passer, and the playmakers. Those are all really nice traits as well for a midfielder. Whether you're playing him central midfield or central defensive midfield, those traits will really come in handy. And guys, just going back to his attributes 1 second, to look at the face stats of this card, he is an 80 plus in every category, so that means that he is capable of doing all parts of the game, and I can attest to the fact that he will perform in every part of the midfield. I wouldn't put him attacking midfield, but certainly central midfield and central defensive midfield, he will perform really well, and these traits will only help that as well. Now that we've gone through all of that, let's get into what you guys have to do to get him into your team. So guys, getting into what the requirements are for this moment's Tonali, and the first one is assist with 2 through balls in separate matches, score in 3 separate matches using Italian players, assist 6 goals using a player with a minimum of a 4-star weak foot, win 6 matches, and score in 12 games with Serie A players. Now, this is all done in the managerial masterpiece, which, if you guys remember, has a 77 squad rating limit on it, as well as a limit of only 3 silvers allowed in the team in any position. So guys, what I would recommend is get your pacey players in, put them in all around a centerpiece player. Now, I put Dybala in the center in attacking midfield, and I just ran at people with him, and I got this card done in about an hour and a half. I managed to get loads of people quitting, loads of games passed by doing that. So again, guys, just hit them hard, hit them quick, and you should be able to get this done relatively easy. The only one that's going to be a bit of a drag is the score in 12 separate games. But again, guys, once you get those 6 wins, the scoring in 12 games, it's easy enough to do. Now that we've gone through all of that, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of Sandro Tonali's clips here, and what you guys are going to see right off the bat with that first ball is that passing range. Guys, that was the biggest thing about this card that I absolutely loved, was that it seems so easy on the ball with him. You don't have to rush. It's very calm, very composed, very controlled on the ball. And because he's able to dribble and move reasonably well, not really well, but reasonably well, it means that you can transition out of defense and into attack very nicely. With just him, you don't have to hand it off to anyone, because he can defend and win the ball. He will do that and then also play the passes in to get you the goals. I mean, that one there did actually lead to a goal from that pass. It was a lovely ball out. Again here, good pace to meet the free kick, win the ball back, and then just tried to play that ball around there. Unfortunately didn't quite come off, but in general guys, his passing is just phenomenal, and it's just so well played. I mean, the positioning of this ball as well, lovely weight on that, straight into Stoichov's path, and once he gets into that position, it's a goal every time. Again guys, winning the ball there, getting into the 50-50 first, winning that, unlucky there with the shot. Maybe should have taken just a normal long shot instead of a finesse. The other thing that I wanted to mention guys, and although I do think his defensive positioning is slightly awry at times, I do think for the most part he is so defensively aware and capable that he really does. He positions himself very well in and around the box, intercepting and cutting passing lanes especially, and that's what I found he was really good at. I tried to run around with him and tackle a lot and didn't get a lot of success with it. I mean, you will see some of the clips that I did get with him where obviously I have tackled with him, but what I found with which had far more success was just putting him into the passing lanes and letting him intercept the ball, and he did that so well, and it's his natural positioning of the card that allows him to do that. But guys, that's not to say he can't tackle. As you guys are seeing here, he's able to take away the ball, hold it up, the good strength there as well on this card, which means that he's able to hold off attackers coming back for a second bite at the cherry, and he's able to then transition out of the defense into the attack, pick out a lovely ball. And for the most part, I was looking at switches, I fizzing balls into the front guy, playing nice 1-2s with the attack midfielder. I was able to do it all with this card, and that was really fun to be able to do as well, because usually you don't have a playmaker that can do the defensive side of things as well, unless you really have an icon. So this is a nice way to get almost not an icon, but a slightly downgraded version of a really good icon. But it's nice to have that ability to be able to transition between the attack and defense with a midfielder that can do it all, whether it is shooting, dribbling, passing, defending, or just being a physical player in and around the box. I mean, look at that ball there. It's a fantastic ball, and the weight on it was terrific. And I don't think he misplaced a pass for me, guys, other than that one that you saw around the corner to Rooney against Cannavaro. He really didn't misplace any passes for me. I can't remember any. So overall, guys, he just played phenomenally well. And there you can see again, immediately as soon as I pick up the ball, it's transitioning into the attack, picks up the ball there with the tackle, then you're in on the defense, play a lovely ball through to the striker, unlucky. And here again, guys, this you'll see the passing. How's that for a ball? Look at the weight on that, and it ends up in the back of the net. So guys, getting into this final Sandro Tonali summary, and guys, as you can see from the clips, that I loved every part of this card. It was really good at everything I asked him to do. I wouldn't play him as your lead CDM, guys. I would put someone else next to him and let him be the playmaker next to that player. But what you do get in this card, which I think is so key, is you get a playmaker at the central midfield slot. Now, usually when I say this is so key, it's because if you're looking at a cheaper player or a free player, I liken this to someone like Cesc Fabregas, who, for example, cannot defend as well as this card, cannot move as well as this card, cannot shoot as well as this card, and Sandro Tonali still has as good passing as any of those guys do. Those similar sort of Cesc Fabregas molds where you've got a playmaker, deep playmaker, that you need someone to run the show from the back. So I think this card is really fantastic value in terms of that. Of course, the passing is the standout stat for me, guys. I cannot go on about that enough. It was absolutely fantastic using a player who could just ping the ball out from the base of midfield with such ease. In terms of recommended chemistry style, guys, I would still recommend the Shadow on him. I think that is the best one for him, giving him the best chance at CDM. If you were to go CM, I don't know what the best one would be. Maybe an engine would do him a lot of good. Maybe something that boosted all of the technical attributes and not his pace. Something like a Maestro might help as well. But my recommendation would be the Shadow. Getting into the similar sort of players, guys. Now, I don't think Delaney is a good shout. There's not many players who are very similar to him, because you've got all these players, for example, and this is a perfect example here, someone like Sabitzer or someone like Fabregas, who's got the passing range but not got the defending to go with it. And that's what's really beautiful about this Sandro Tonali card, and that's what I absolutely loved about it as well, was that he's got that capability to just ping a pass and also do every defensive aspect of the game. Maybe something like the Delaney is the closest shout, but I think he's so much better than that in terms of his overall capability. In terms of looking at stats, I would say he's probably closer to someone like Sabitzer, maybe with a little less technical capability, or maybe someone like Under Kappa as well. Finally, guys, getting into the link ability, and this is where it starts to get fun again as well. Record Breaker Donnarumma Storyline Romagnoli, Inform Romagnoli are the perfect links that you guys could link to. You've got Ciro Immobile as a strong link. You've also got links to Freeze Chiellini and other players like this, Lorenzo Insigne's road to the final, but also other Milan players, Theo Hernandez, all his versions. You've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic's Inform in there as well, and you've also got a link to the road to the final Rebic, the Future Stars, Diogo Dallo, which has just been released, and the Frank Kessie, who you can make a great strong midfield partnership with. I think that is the perfect partner for this card, someone big and physical next to the technical capability of Sandro Tonali. That would work so well in tandem. I think that's a really well thought out card from EA in terms of giving us something that will link really well to what people already have, so I'm very happy with it. In terms of would I recommend to grind this card out, guys, I would recommend to grind this card out. I know that I recommend every card because they're free, but at the end of the day, what you are getting is a first owner Serie A player that helps with icon swaps, and you're getting good player as well, just in general. You don't have to work too hard for this card. It's not as hard as the Suarez or the Dybala, and people do seem to be quitting quicker on these matches than in the other ones, so it seems easy enough to get. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button, and until next time, I'll see you all in a bit.